Hello! Good evening, and welcome to the Netherlads channel, which is I am the Netherlad, this is my channel, and you're going to be watching an episode of Scion, Divinity Reborn, which is going to be told by Alvrans, storyteller, with our friend Keistreth and our friend Minjoff playing my fellow players. I'm going to be playing Virginia DeWitt. We're going to have Keistreth playing Lucian, and we're going to have Minjoff playing Omnos. And today, we are going to have the episode Visitation Rites. Thank you so much for being here, especially thank you to Flutus for resubscribing for the 9th month. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Alvrans, for being here and being my mod as usual, alongside your duties as storyteller. I truly appreciate that. But please focus on the storytelling aspect. That is what we're here for. With that said, let's actually join everyone who is in here. Moddy-teller? No, storyteller. Oh dear. No, mostly storyteller. But hi, Stumkunst, good to see you too. Let's join our friends, shall we? Hello.
Hello. How is Netherlad?
That's a deep question.
I know.
But I am very happy to be playing Scion.
Oh,
So I'm in a good mood
hear
for this. Yes.
Good.
I hope that is similar in the cases of Keistreth and Minjoff and Alvrans.
Absolutely. I've been looking forward to this session.
Ooh.
I'm very excited to hear what's going to happen. Well, actually, more to you guys.
Oh no.
Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, it's going to be
Alright.
interesting.
Oh, it'll be fine. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be fine. Let me
good
see. Do we have music on?
Yeah.
Let's.
At least for the moment.
My captions are working correctly, right?
They should. Hold on.
Okay, good.
Yeah. As far as I can tell, I mean, with captions being captions, there's always going to be issues. But so far, I see that it's being we're receiving some of it.
Yeah,
There was at least a little bit off.
Yes.
Yeah. But at least they're not doing Swedish this time still, and
Yeah.
they are showing up, so that's...
And I appreciate Alvrans weighing in on the issue of being both a mod on my channel and a storyteller of this game being the story mod or the moddy teller. No, it is the moody teller.
I could be a bit moody. Alright. Are we ready?
I believe so.
Sure, why not?
Alright. Last time, you guys had a bit of a run-in with a werewolf.
An actual werewolf?
Yeah. Fully legit werewolf.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Hmm.
I mean, I've been playing.
I was asked afterwards if I wanted to be a werewolf because I got a tat, and I said no because I didn't want to play a part wolf person in 2 games in a row.
Yeah, like I've been in the mindset of Deviant where it's like that might not be an actual werewolf, but it is an actual werewolf in London.
Yes, that was an actual werewolf in London. That was not one of the Forsaken, but that was an actual werewolf in London.
Perhaps not an American one, but you know.
Yeah, happens. Out of everything.
But after surviving that encounter, you had a interesting encounter with a blue-clad Hanfu woman, who may or may not be a dragon.
Or a cosplayer.
Or a cosplayer. And then you went and did some, for lack of a better term, downtime things. You gave some money to Miss Chie, asked some questions of a talking cat, talked with people in hideouts and different things, all sorts of different little things here and there. Had a touching moment with your family, learned that Mama Jin is very good with lore, apparently.
Lore bard.
Ciao.
Something like that. But yeah.
Also accidentally swore in front of our mothers.
Whoops.
Accidentally. But yeah, there it is. I was gonna say I am missing a D10, but I found it. And then yeah, as everything kind of slows down for the night after listening to rumors and hearing about other possible awakenings, yeah, I think we start up on the next day. Who wants to go first?
Not it. Like, honestly, I'm fine with going first, but unless everyone is going to play the not it card.
Well, you're the one that spoke up,
Okay,
so...
sure.
As I say, I will be voluntold what my position is.
Okay. So, we did kind of address this in between sessions beforehand. I'm just making sure I have my notes.
Mm-hmm.
There it
I'm
is.
also going to
Alright.
bring up my sheet.
Yes, you are going to need your sheet.
Okay.
Obviously, with a little bit of the things today and the fact that Olaf has hounded you for a little bit, I would imagine that Virginia's probably gone to the library today.
Yes. I'm going to hit the archives and
Right.
try and figure out what is up with the Morags.
Alright. So you do have access to some specialized archives type of thing as you go to sort of the rear end of a library. A couple of things that you notice is, one, in comparison to normal, the library is short-staffed today. And two, you notice that a couple of people whose days off it is from volunteering at Ginkama are here, but they seem to be here for pleasure at the moment.
Sorry, you said the people volunteering at Ginkama? Or?
They're like, because it happens in shifts and stuff like that. There are people who normally go and volunteer at Ginkama. Ted, you do recognize a couple of them. They are people who are normally more helpful, and they're people who Miss Chie probably told to, you're taking the day off today. Type of thing. That type of helpful person.
And now they're here.
Yeah, they're just sitting there looking at books, talking about things very quietly, just having a good time.
I think immediately I'm wary, like part of a sense of anxiety, like, oh, these are people that I know, but not in the places that I usually see them. So
Like seeing your primary school teacher outside of school.
I want to use unobtrusive visitor here.
Go for it. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. I'm not going to make you roll for anything in regards to it. It's just that they are closer to the front. You do notice that. So it is less of a, we're going back here for big investigation things, and it's more, we're here having a good time.
Okay.
But as you use unobtrusive visitor, you go past. How would you like to look for information regarding Forex?
So, the information that I wanted to look up, as far as I can remember, is both like behavioral, but also, because this is for a hunt, I would like to see if I can find any recent information of the maybe like the parishes near where the Morags are supposed to be. So that I can maybe cross-reference. Okay, so I figured out what they do and how they act. Maybe I can see some correlations in local council stuff.
Okay. So that's the information that you're going for. Are you trying to look for it on your own, or are you going to ask for help?
I am going to ask for help in the for specifically the local records.
Okay. So as you go through and you kind of grab some just basic stuff on Morags, a couple of stories about Nessie, things along those lines, just to kind of get an idea. As you sit down, the librarian that you've asked for help brings forth a huge stack of records and things.
Oh. Okay, I'm a little daunted, but I do have the day, so
I hate to use this given its cultural context now, but you know the thing. I checked it out weeks ago for a bit of light reading.
How could I be so?
More so.
It's a TikTok trend.
So there are, as you're kind of sitting there and taking a look through these at the moment, you hear sounds of struggle, very faint, from where you're sitting.
Struggle in library. They're supposed to be quiet.
Yeah.
Here.
Like that, it's someone that's trying to be quiet, so it's not like struggle as in like, oh, somebody's fighting or things are getting dangerous. It's a different kind of. It's the more casual struggles of effort, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And then your phone begins to vibrate, because I would assume that you turn the ringer off.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. I will check my phone, but also like glance up to see if I can find the source of these noises of effort.
There is a librarian, newer bit of a librarian that is trying to, as quickly and carefully as possible, return some of the books that are out over in this area.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a lot for them to go through, type of thing. As you check your phone, it is Geen Kama's number.
Okay. Is like call or text?
It is a call.
Okay. I think I will go to the nearest bathroom, and on the way there, I will answer it.
As you are heading towards the restroom and you answer it, it is a voice. It is a voice you recognize as you know her first name, which would be Lisa, and Lisa goes, sorry to bother you, Virginia. I understand that you're kind of in the middle of doing things, but Miss Chie was called away on things, and she said if we needed help to give you a call.
Okay, what's up?
Like, there's a lot going on. There's not many people, like, a couple of people had to step out due to illness, and there's just kind of a lot of disorganized stuff going on at the moment, and I don't really know how to handle it. I need help.
Okay, kind of like rubs the bridge of her nose. I'll be there in... Figures out how close she is to the thing. I'll be there in 10, okay?
Okay.
And I start to head to back to the stack of things to bring them back to the librarian. Apologize for the effort. There's like something came up. I will also text.
On your way back to the librarian, you get a text from Olaf that says, "Hey, you really need that information pretty soon."
I want to text him back how soon, because I'm on it, but something's come up with Ginkama.
Olaf is not the most articulated person, but he kind of puts soon with a period.
Oh.
And if you need a moment to think, we can go on to someone else for a moment.
Sure. Let me stew on that.
All right. Lou. It's a lovely morning, at least as
Hello.
lovely as it can get in the city of London.
Eh,
As you wake up, there are a couple of things that you first notice. There's a strange floral scent that normally isn't around, and it seems to be a bit chilly, like someone left the window open.
Can I get up and see what's up?
As you get up and you look over towards the window, there is a gibbous monkey that is just chilling on your windowsill.
Okay. So, Luke met a talking cat yesterday. So, they just sort of raise their hand and slowly wave, like, hello?
The monkey acts like a monkey would and just kind of tilts its head confused. And then it kind of looks behind it and then looks back at you type of thing.
Luke's just gonna stare at it confused, like, oh god, what do I do? Like, if I open my window, it's probably gonna come in and make a mess.
The window is open. That's the window that was
Oh.
open. He's just
Okay.
chilling on the windowsill, like not coming in or doing anything.
Okay. I'm gonna walk out to it and go, what? I'm
As you,
confused.
as you look at towards the monkey, go ahead and make me. Oh, what's a good observation check? Actually, let me take a look at your stats. This may not be observation. Go ahead and make me a cunning integrity check.
Okay. Two successes.
Not too
Okay,
bad.
so as you're sitting there and you walk over towards the monkeys, you're kind of looking out of the window. You notice out of the corner of your eye, and as you kind of focus on it, you see somebody that's not necessarily a member of your family, but is a member of the complex that you're in. You've seen them around quite often. Very kind, very nice, young woman type of thing. Just doing her best to get by. Who's being approached by 7, let's say mid-40s men. And the vibe that you are getting is, I'm gonna use the word malevolent here.
Okay, which floor am I on?
What floor is your guys's? I was gonna use the word apartment, but that's technically not the word.
It's a flat.
Flat, that's it.
I'll say second story.
Okay.
So it's gonna look at the bag and say, I'll be back. Don't make a mess. Just go out and like lock his door, like his bedroom door, and
So,
run outside.
okay. So do you run through your house and then downstairs, or do you?
I don't want to jump down into the middle of what's going on because that'd be weird. I'm just
Okay.
gonna go outside and jump down off the railing there,
Okay, cool. Excellent.
and then run to the what's going on and just make it look like I'm passing by on a jog.
Okay. It doesn't take much in regards to realize that these 7 men, as they're kind of sitting there and approaching this younger woman, they're kind of surrounding her type of thing, making it so that she doesn't have many places to go as one kind of reaches out to grab onto her arm.
Okay, so I can't get to her without passing them, so... The one that's reaching out, I'm just gonna, like, bump into him.
Okay.
To get attention.
You bump into him, which, like, a couple of the others kind of move in position, trying to keep a lot of the this circle kind of centered on the woman, and now that you've bumped into this guy, kind of trying to make sure that even though you're kind of going on a jog and it probably doesn't work out so well, they're trying to get it so that way they're facing you in this
And
circle.
then it's like, oh, I'm sorry, wow, there's a lot of you here, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Why don't you keep going on your way there?
I don't know, you're looking awfully threatening today. Maybe you want to let that nice lady there go on her way? Because she looks a little scared, that's all.
Yeah, just mind your own business there, kid. Don't worry about it.
Unfortunately for you, people in this apartment building are my business. I'm going to need you to leave. I said the wrong word there. People in this council flat are my business. There we go.
No worries.
Watch too much American shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did the same thing not that long ago, so it was probably my fault. But generally speaking, it gets to the point quickly between witty barbs or just like, no, you'd leave me alone. No, you leave her alone type of thing. They begin to kind of like stand up to their full height, and they are prepared for a fight.
Okay.
Would you like a moment to get some tags together?
I think my opening move
Okay.
is grabbing a probably like mostly full bin bag.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. Continue, please.
I would like to apply unconcealable pushing.
Okay.
Brutal, because I reduces the successes necessary for a critical sum by 1.
Hmm.
Bashing and
Stun? Unless you want to go lethal.
You said bashing already.
yeah. How many points have I spent so far?
You said unconcealable at the beginning, which is -1. Pushing,
Pushing is 1.
so you're at 0 for that one. I'm on the antagonist's page, not the tag page, so.
I have the weapon tags next to me on my Scion GM screen.
Brutal is 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm at 1. Okay, yeah, I'll get stunned.
So you have 1 more point.
And reach.
All right. It's a very stretchy bag.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wish there was something like cleave where I could isolate multiple people, but not shockwave.
That's mostly for mooks type of thing, which wouldn't be applicable here for various reasons.
And my
So
goal is to basically make a gap so that the lady can run away.
okay.
Hmm.
So you take a couple of steps to go grab this bin bag. Do you want to make an attack before everything else pops off?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Go for it. We'll see what happens.
Oh boy, this is gonna be fun.
So you're just like taking out the trash and then all of a sudden just turn around and whack someone.
Thereby taking
Just
out
like
the trash.
as I'm walking up to them, just scoop it up and swing.
Yep.
+1 for martial arts. 6
Holy
successes.
Yep. Okay. Let me just take a look at what I was using as a basis for these dudes. Okay. So
And
the first,
however many like I get to hit, I hit them all at once.
right. Because like this is more of a kind of, what's the best way to kind of explain this? Because real talk above game, since this is part of the trial, it is more of kind of the wushu type of thing, where it's going to be one after the other type of thing.
Okay.
Just that way you are aware type of thing. But you do hit the
I'm
first
still
guy.
trying to make a gap.
Yeah, you do hit the first guy, which is quite effective. Not quite enough to put him down right away, but with that you are able to do a little bit of extra damage there, because of the 6 successes. As they begin to kind of scroll up, and it turns into the just that way everyone kind of has the same image. It is one of those kung fu things where now all of the bad guys are kind of adjusting and getting ready to go in, type of thing.
I'm gonna try and like move lady out of the. Don't know her name.
All right. We can get a name in a little bit, but regardless.
Hello, Sunbury. Thank you for the raid. We're in game right now.
All right. Omnos.
I hope your stream went well.
Yes.
It is a much quieter day in Terra Incognita. As you kind of wake up and go through your morning routine. The first thing that kind of stands out to you is what is it, my brain? The one thing that kind of stands out to you a little bit is when you are being, or when you kind of go forward with the Kichi catching up, getting some of your gossip in for the morning. One of them turns to you and goes, actually, I know that there's not much going on in it right now, but that old building that looks kind of like a bar, there's something in there.
Someone in there, huh?
Yeah.
No
Don't know what
idea who
for.
it could be.
Go ahead and roll me take a look at your stats here real quick. Go ahead and roll an intellect integrity check on these cats.
Intellect integrity, you say?
Yeah. Nope, no idea. And as far as you can tell, they're being honest.
Alright. Well, guess I better go check that out. Never know who might turn up in a place like this. And he sort of shrugs and saunters over.
As you go forward into this area, there actually is a little bit of movement there that's kind of new, kind of different. Like, normally a lot of the places here, part of it is there are people that live here. There's, for lack of a better term, your siblings that live here or that come in and go as they please. But a lot of the businesses aren't quite as open, type of thing. But as you kind of go in here, it feels like relatively quiet, kind of like an early midday type of thing. But there is somebody in this tavern that's sitting there nursing some kind of drink as someone's over at the bar, kind of manning it for the moment. They don't necessarily look familiar, but they kind of look more of like a piece of the setting over anything else. The gentleman that's sitting by himself, something familiar about him. Not entirely sure what it is, but there is something familiar about him. He's tall, very well built, blonde hair, and whereas like you kind of have the scar on your face, he doesn't have a scar on his, but he does have many scars on his body, on his arms that you can see. And the thing that you kind of notice most about him is he's in terra incognita, but he's wearing quote unquote modern outfits.
Do you belong here? I'm going to ask.
Here as in any kind of gestures to the bar, or here as in any kind of points out the door?
Here, and Omnos makes more of like an encircling motion. More broadly, I could see you being in a bar somewhere else.
Yeah. This area where you've probably grown up is not my home, no. I did visit here a lot back in the day, though.
Back in the day. I've been here a while, I can't say I remember you.
I wouldn't
Do you
expect
look
you to.
familiar? Somehow.
You want to sit and have a conversation?
Sounds like you have business.
Well, if you don't want to, we can make this as expeditious. We can expedite this as quickly as possible. But it's kind of tough for me to sit here and address this at the moment.
Omnos sort of half sighs, half shrugs, and takes a seat.
As you sit, you notice something that he's been working on. It is a little notebook, and the two weird things about it is it's kind of sitting next to his drink, which is a very almost divinely smelling mead. And the writing in the book, while you know for a fact you've never seen this writing, you are able to read it perfectly.
What language is that? And I'll nod towards the notebook.
It's it's one that I made with a really good friend of mine. And he kind of
And-
smiles and says, "Back in the day."
And the reason I can read this with
Good.
suspicion.
Kind of takes a deep breath and he goes, "Do you know?" It's a bit of a loaded question, but do you know where you came from? Do you have memories beforehand?
What a question to spring on a guy first thing in the day. I mean, I
Just
come from
tell me
here.
if you think that that'll help.
I came from here.
Do you know what here is called, or where the people who used to be here are called?
I mean, said it. Wait, maybe he didn't say it himself. It's terra incognita.
Right, but this specific area, Terra Incognita's got a lot of aspects to it. I don't know how much that you've been around in the world, so to speak. but like you can get to, you walk in the right area, you can get to Asgard from here. Heimdall might not let you in, but you can get over there from here.
I've had dealings with some of them.
Right. You go over towards and kind of leans towards and points at a very tall mountain over the way. That's Mount Olympus over there. I wouldn't recommend going there right now for various reasons, as he kind of just realizes what he said.
Omnus's fists will tighten and then relax.
Oh yeah, that's on me. I apologize.
One of these days. Cracks a knuckle.
Alright, well, you know that at least. My name is Ogma, and I am from your friends across the channel, the Tuatha De Danann.
Oh. What brings me the honor?
You've been active. And you've been, what's a good word to put it? I think it's been time, long overdue at this point, for me to sit down and have this conversation. Because...
You know, if this is about the birds and the bees, I'm figuring that one out.
I'm sure you've got people to tell you all about that. Does the name Ogmios mean anything to you? And almost in a moment, as he says the name and the name crosses his lips and echoes in your ears, it's foggy, but it's kind of like you're pulled back and shunted through various memories of sitting down with this man when he's got less scars and penning paper or ink to paper, talking about things, talking about poetry and philosophy. You shunt to different points throughout your life, being able to sit there and stir armies of men with speeches to get them to go forward and to do the things that they need to do, to fighting, or to watching who you would recognize. I don't have a name for him, but you would recognize your sibling in their past life, fighting Ares and being stabbed through the chest with some kind of gilded blade. And a lot of this happens in but an instant before you
I imagine
back.
the reaction to it, like, just visibly and physically, would be sort of like, you know, a sudden vertigo spell.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
And
like,
then
what the... I remember things. But they're not my memories, but they are. What?
And
What
with
the
that, while Omnos processes that for a moment, as Ogma gives Omnos a bit of mead, which is mead of poetry, by the way. Virginia.
Yes. I feel like I need to be in two places at once.
You don't have the ability to be in two places at once.
Right. I don't. That would be supernatural. Virginia is going to do something that she hasn't done very often. She's going to steal from the library.
Going to steal from the library.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on a second. I was not anticipating this, so I have to build dice pool. Okay. What are you planning on stealing?
The large stack of documents that had been...
You cannot steal the large stack of documents.
No?
It is too much. You're going to have to pick and choose.
But what if I...
Check it out.
Okay. What if I walk out of the library with an obtrusive visitor.
That makes it appear as though you're someone that's
So
supposed
long
to
as you
be-
collect information or remain an observer and do not take hostile action.
I'm pretty certain stealing is a hostile action.
Okay, let's say that I'm collecting information. I am collecting it from the physical location and bringing it with me.
Okay. If you want to play this way, fine. I'll allow you to use unobtrusive visitor, but you have to realize that only works on mortals, so I'll still need a roll.
Okay. Cunning subterfuge or dexterity subterfuge?
Dexterity, because you're trying to physically steal something.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
An extra die. 2 successes. Oh no.
I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
I'm so sorry.
Just because you say it twice doesn't make it feel better.
Hey. As you attempt to walk out,
Yep.
a feminine but firm hand grips onto your shoulder.
I glance back.
Can I help you with that?
Oh, is it possible to... I thought there was like a desk or like a thing outside to deposit books.
Why would you be depositing books from inside?
You're right, I'm not... I don't come here often. I know the deposit thing outside.
Why
So,
don't you go ahead and make me a cunning subterfuge check, since
Okay.
you said that you don't come here often?
that is 3 successes.
Okay. A little bit of a lesser dice pool here.
Okay.
Don't come here often, you say? If you want to use the materials, you may have a seat.
I kind of, I do want to read, but I need to get out of here relatively quickly due to an emergency.
Then I'm sure that the things will be here when you get back.
Remind me of your closing time?
So part of the thing is mostly because this is supposed to be a trial,
Yes.
and I didn't think about that. So, because this is supposed to be a trial, he quotes about an hour from the moment, type of thing, due to different things in regards to short staff or whatever.
Oh, dear.
But you know that it will take. You don't know how bad the situation at King Combat is, and you are unsure how long that'll take you to do that, and then come back.
Right.
Have you dropped unobtrusive visitors since you've been caught?
No.
Okay, never mind then.
As far as, like, especially to push the, like, I've not been here often.
You can tell she doesn't believe that for a second. She's humoring you because she doesn't want to make a scene.
I think I will either give her back material or like, bring it to the place that she directs me to. And then I'm going to hurry for a, to the tube and get to Ginkama.
Okay. I want you to just make me an intellect check. Just straight intellect. It is going to be a difficult check, though.
Straight intellect.
Mhm.
Okay. Gonna be tricky. 1 success.
Nothing comes to mind, unfortunately.
Nothing comes to mind of what?
As you kind of leave, type of thing, it's like aspects in regards to sitting there and thinking about different ways that you could probably approach this or try to get this out, type of thing. Nothing comes to mind.
Okay.
And head over to Ginkama.
Yeah, because that is the promise I've made, and I've not made any promises towards the Witblades on specific timing for this.
I need a moment for that. So we'll go over. Let's do that, and then we'll go over to Lou.
Oh no.
Beat somebody with a trash bag, and they kind of stumble back for a little bit, and then they get ready to go. They are taken by shock, so if you want to, you can make another attack if you so wish.
Okay. I will do so.
Go for it.
4 successes.
4 successes. Alright, first guy is down easily enough, but the other guy comes forward quickly in his way, or in behind him, type of thing, and he comes forward and go ahead and make me a defensive roll.
1.
Okay, that adds to your different things. Actually, there are certain things that you can do defending. Let me take a look at this. What is their potion? Okay, so defensive stunts, one of the things that you can do is roll away. I haven't made character sheets for these guys, so if you want to, you can roll away and not take damage.
Okay.
So as you sit there and he swings at you, you roll backwards, or whatever. What cool move does Lou do to dodge this person?
I could just spring on one hand.
Exactly. All right. Cool. Excellent.
Yeah.
So you spring on one hand, and then yeah, you could follow up if you want.
I will do another attack. And this one probably breaks the bag apart. 3 successes.
Okay. He takes one clean to the jaw as the bag rips apart, scattering trash all over the ground.
Just litter everywhere.
Rather than make you fight 7 people, because this is going to continue going on for a little while,
Yeah.
I want you to go ahead and make me 3 more rolls.
Okay. 7.
Okay.
6. 3.
Okay. So, I'm just gonna make a large dice pool here. I will say, actually, no, they only got 1 success on that enhanced dice pool, so Lou goes through mostly unscathed. As
Picks up like a bottle and a can and just starts throwing them.
Like pinging them off their foreheads repeatedly, type of thing.
Yeah, adds returning to them, so you can just keep going.
But as you're kind of sitting there and going for it for a little bit, there's 3 people who are standing, and they still look going forward for it, and you hear kind of a youthful voice from behind you go, "No, that's enough. I've seen enough. Thanks." And everyone just kind of relaxes their stances, and the individuals who you had knocked out get back up.
Lou just kind of pauses and it's just like, Wait, what?
You turn behind you.
Yeah, but I'm gonna like position myself between the lady and the voice in case.
Oh no, she's fine. She's kind of like like a couple of the guys going, "Are you okay? We didn't hurt you or anything like that." She's kind of brushing herself off. She's like, "No, I'm okay. I'm okay." Um, where is he? There he is. Um, so generally, what you see is you see a youthful, handsome in certain cases, individual, full chops type of thing, very, very, very wide, mess of hair, kind of wearing a muscle tank and kind of loose shorts type of thing. Um, the monkey that was on your windowsill does kind of hop down over to things and kind of hops onto his shoulder type of thing.
Blue just kind of awkwardly puts the bottle down somewhere and is like, you just pranked me, didn't you?
Kinda. Half a prank, half a test. You know, half a dozen in a hand, half a dozen in the other. I think you get how kind of how it is.
Yeah, I've done enough tests.
Yeah, I figured that this one would kind of be a bit more in our wheelhouse, if that makes sense. You want to come take a walk with me for a little bit?
Considering what you just set up, not really.
All right. I mean, we can have this conversation here in front of everybody, or depending on how you feel about it, we can go for a walk elsewhere. Doesn't matter to me. I just figured that you might want privacy.
For what?
Talk about some of the things that have been bothering you, like the ability to make a chair explode.
It just kind of starts with his mouth half open and then goes, oh. I mean, mm. So you know about that one.
I know about that one. I know about what it was a rock, right? I know about the boomerang rock. Those are a lovely pair of shoes, and I know where your family got those too.
Okay, there were only 2 people there for the rock, so.
He smirks.
I'm gonna like start walking past him and as if I want him to go with me, but not actually say that we're going to walk.
As you're walking towards him, he kind of just turns and does like the anime thing where he puts his arm up and his elbows are high, his fingers are interlocked behind his head, and he goes, oh gosh, which one of my names would you know? I know you probably don't recognize me. We have met before, but
At school, right?
Exactly. Definitely didn't look like this though.
Yeah, I had a suspicion.
Yeah. I am Sun Wukong. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Actually, he does throw in a couple of his titles in there. You know, Great Sage equal to Heaven,
Okay.
Handsome Monkey King. He definitely like embellishes it a lot, but
Lou knows who this is.
this look. He says Sun Wukong, and then you know that, and then he kind of just goes on in regards to it as if he didn't.
Nice to meet you.
Hey. So, first things first, we'll go ahead and address any questions that you might have, and then we'll kind of talk about what's on the table as we're going forward here. But while you're thinking of some questions,
Lou's first question is, okay, why are you here?
Because it was quite unfair for people to sit there and treat you that way. And so I figured that I would give you a little bit of an edge up. Not that you needed it, but it's fun. And you asked somebody if you were worthy of it. And I figured that this was the best way to test that, at least to me. Was protecting people that you believe is in your charge. How far would you
Alright,
go for that?
I probably would have done that even if she wasn't from the building, to be honest.
It's good to know. I
Is
like
it?
that about you, Luke.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And then as that kind of awkwardness settles in for a little bit, because he's just gonna sit there and wait. We'll do that. We'll go back to Omnos for a little bit here.
All right. So,
Yeah.
you know, he's sort of trying to shake off this dizziness that isn't dizziness. While if he's been offered a drink, he will have downed it.
Okay, give me just a moment, real quick. I'm gonna look at relics, because I said it's meat of poetry.
Just
Okay.
immediately the drunkest person in the universe.
No.
But the most eloquent.
Well, it depends on where you got the meat from. No, this one would be the good one. Where the heck is it? I know it's on here somewhere. Full guys, red string of fate. I believe you have enhancement for. There it is. Cool. Yeah, that doesn't do it in regards to it. Yeah. So for free, you could just be really good at reciting poetry, convincing someone your advice is sound, or speak eloquently. You can do that once per arc, it says. Because you can't spend legend right now.
Ow.
Fair enough.
I'm just gonna copy this and then send this to you.
Yep. Sounds good. I'll put it in at some point. You know, and he points to whatever he drank out of. This stuff. Dangerous stuff. Like, how does one drink anything else after this?
Well, that is an excellent question. Normally I use it to help me with writer's block, but
Could see
it
that.
is pretty
Could see
cool.
that. But anyways, that's besides the point. Well, wow. I'm wondering, would Omnos have enough of a hunch to ask if the wheel is turning again?
Yeah, I would say that. To which Ogma will reply, yes, it is. That is why you and the others that were living here, for lack of a better term, came back. For the sake of clarity, Omnos does not have all of Ogmius's memories.
No, I figured.
Omnos has a lot of stuff for context. And things along those lines. But yeah.
And so I suppose I'm to take it my, well, siblings are similar?
Yeah. It
Mhm.
was kind of a last-ditch effort to make sure y'all lived on, to be perfectly honest.
Alright, well, this certainly explains my homicidal urges towards certain
Yeah.
theory.
Yeah.
Glad we cleared that up.
Oh man, that must have been awkward, just feeling the urge to kill something without really knowing why. Yeah.
I just took it as my purpose in life. Kind of sad purpose, but I don't question.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you this book that I've been working on. It is something that we will figure out how to say this um, more eloquently later, but it's something that you and I penned together. What
All right.
what I want to make sure is that you feel that you're ready for it. Because, well, when you start reading those pages, there is going to be changes.
Well, you know what they say. Change is inevitable. Or, well, that's what I say anyways.
Makes sense? He turns the book over. I did not write a book that Agnos and Agma wrote together. But I can look up the name of the script and we can add that to the languages that you know. As you go through, as Omnos goes through this book, it doesn't necessarily add major memories. It adds details and kind of clears away aspects of the fog. Something that is relatively interesting, though, is you feel more invigorated. You feel a difference in your aura. You feel like as you read, you can feel your heart pulse. You can feel your pulse throughout the rest of your body. You can hear it in your ears. And along with this sound comes faint murmurings. You think you recognize the voice of Reese in prayer at this time, type thing. But that's impossible because he's in the world and you're in Terra Incognita, type of thing. Hard to make out. You can't make out any details. But it's like, it feels like you're taking a metaphorical step up, so to speak, as you kind of go through this with this power pulsing through your lungs. And for a book that's the size that it is, you go through it exceedingly fast. And Agma is just sitting there patiently sipping on the mead. He goes, well, at this point, I don't know how many questions you can have. It's not exactly that I do it this way, talking to an old future friend, whatever. It's not exactly that I do it this way. Normally, I'm talking to somebody that hasn't had experiences like this before, whether or not they've come back. But if you have any questions, I can do my best to answer them.
I mean, what's the plan? I get that the wheel's turning again. What's to stop it from, well, stopping from things to repeat themselves?
Well, not all of us get second chances. Given where you're at, I think that you have a pretty good idea of a second chance. You can make changes. You don't have to make the same mistakes that you did before.
You do have a point to that. I feel like I'm me and also not me. Does that make sense? That doesn't sound like it makes sense, but it makes sense.
Honestly, if you want to sit there and deal with that, we might be able to go talk to some of the Deva. They might have a better idea of what that's like. But I personally do not.
Yeah, I guess this isn't the type of thing you can explain to someone who hasn't gone through it, eh?
Exactly. If you'd like to, I could reach out to some contacts and we could try to get something together.
Ah, this is starting to sound like one of those things down in the other world. Counselor kind of thing, I think they
Well,
call it.
I don't like counseling so much as I like going and having drinks with a couple of people. A little less
Yeah,
formal that
well,
way.
I mean, nothing wrong with counseling, though.
That's fair.
That being said, I don't know if I want to talk to anyone right now. I have work to do.
You sure do. There are, before you go, there are others of us that are other people like you, people who are doing some of the stuff that I'm doing. Because some of them think that something's coming. I'm not saying put your personal grudges aside in regards to this.
Mm.
What I am saying is, if you're lucky, you might be able to get 2 birds with 1 stone.
Well,
As he says that something's coming, now that you have a better idea of who Orgos is, things slowly begin to click into place. As there may be other forces similar to Orgos who want out, or who want to do nasty things.
shit. Well, if I can hit 2 birds with a stone, I'll take the shot. If not, well... This grudge isn't so much personal now, is it? It wasn't just me. It wasn't just a couple of us. It was everyone, and they broke the wheel, and I will break them.
That being said, some of you were able to escape. So you might be able to find allies in the right spots.
Yeah,
I
I've been
think-
working on allies already, but more doesn't hurt.
I think Epona might be a good way to get inside on your personal goal there. I do not know how to get a hold of her.
Good to know she's still alive.
I'll get a list to you at some point, but we'll figure it out. You have a wonderful ability to get here regularly, so I can make it a regular occurrence if you've got any questions for me to be right in this chair. And kind of takes his pen that he was writing with and taps it on his thigh. If you've got
Well.
preparations to do, I don't want to keep you, so...
Yeah, thank you for this, and he taps the book.
I got my own copy. He pulls out another book and puts it on the table. Don't worry about it. Keep that one, and, well, stuff goes on. Maybe we can compare notes again. Or compare
Yeah.
notes.
2 old friendships and new ones.
Old friendships and new ones. He offers you another drink for the road, or something along those
Yep.
lines, and then continues working on what he was working on. So you go off to do. Oh, one more thing. A couple more things actually. And he kind of reaches behind him, and he pulls out 2 things. First off, what you recognize as a key, which looks to be some kind of some kind of what would normally be a piece of body jewelry. Plated, it looks golden in color. And he puts that on the table, and he reaches behind him and pulls out a chained bladed weapon, and also puts it on the table. He goes, "You might need those for later. One of them is a gift from me." He points to what we've statted out as the Kusurigama.
Mm-hmm.
And he points to the Gilded Piercing. Used to be yours. When you have a moment and you're in the world, why don't you just try to do the same thing that you do to get here and see what happens?
I think I will. And, Omnos will pick up the things.
As you
Stashing
hold
away.
it,
the weapon and putting on the jewelry.
As you hold the jewelry, you do recognize it as a key, a memento. But yeah, and then Omnos goes and does what Omnos does, whatever that may or may not be.
Well, he might want to check out where the key goes.
All right, want to check out where the key goes?
Mhm.
Cool. I was not anticipating that today, so I'm gonna need some more time. Virginia.
Hello!
All right. Get to Ginkama.
Whilst going there on the tube, Virginia has just been a ball of anxiety.
You have been getting messages,
Oh?
both from Ginkama and then an occasional one from Olaf. Olaf isn't necessarily pushing for information at this point, but it still is that kind of anxiety-inducing thing that someone's trying to have a conversation with me, but they're expecting something from me.
Yeah.
Type of thing. But you
In my
eventually
mind,
get-
I'm already thinking, okay, first figure out like what's going on at Ginkama, and then going to have to break into the archive.
As you get back into Ginkama, it is a mess in the kitchen. It looks like people are rushing in regards to things like people are sitting there and doing it. Luckily, it's more of anxiety-induced stuff on them. A lot of the people that are regulars here at Ginkama are not being overly grumpy or chaotic type of thing. There is one or two people who's a bit snippy, but hey, they're hungry.
Yeah.
Type of thing. But the kitchen's a mess. A lot of the stuff hasn't been like picked up that's sitting out in the area type of thing.
Oh dear.
There is nowhere near enough people. As you see Lisa's going, oh, thank you for showing up.
What has been going on? Like, this is not just...
Some of the people were sick in regards to things, like the person who normally handles most of the cooking ended up getting sick, and so we couldn't have him sitting there and dealing with food, so they had to go, and we've been sitting there and doing our best in regards to things, but it's a rush and it's a lot, and...
Okay, calm down. Right? Cooler heads will prevail, so what's first? What are we going to do, huh? People need food, so we need to find a chef, a cook.
As you're trying to go through and doing things, I want you to make... I'm gonna make this manipulation leadership check.
Manipulation leadership. Okay. None.
Would you like to spend some momentum?
I would, if that's okay with everyone.
Take as much as you want.
I am going to go for 4.
Okay.
That is
Roll another one.
2 successes and 3 successes.
Hey.
Okay. It takes a moment, and it is definitely past time. It gets close to mid-afternoon when everything's taken care of. You do end up fixing a lot of the problems that are going on in the kitchen. Like, at this point, people are calm.
I think at least for the
getting
last
cleaned
half
up.
hour, I'm micromanaging things, just trying to get to the point where it's like, okay, we've solved everything. Okay, in that case, I am going back.
Okay. As things have started to sit there and settled, as you try to leave, or as you get ready to leave, rather, I want you to make an intellect and subterfuge check.
5 successes.
You see a gentleman who's standing in the shadows, who's just been observing you for a little while at this point.
So I've
As
like
you get ready
been
to leave.
picking up on like his looks.
He's just observing. It doesn't seem malicious in any sense at this point. He's just watching.
Okay, so thinking that I've kind of covered my bases for the soup kitchen, I will walk over to the guy and ask if there's anything I can help with.
I think part of the problem is you don't ask anyone for help there, Virginia.
That just kills her. That's... Who's to say? If there's nothing, I really should be going.
You're not gonna find it back at the library.
Okay, and who might you be that you know what I was about to do?
Oh, right. And he kind of sits there and clears his throat for a little bit, and you see the librarian that stopped you at the library.
Do I recognize this as Miss Chie's knack?
This is gonna be tough,
Uh-huh.
but you can make an intellect and occult check.
Intellect occult. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
I was looking at your sheet.
3 successes.
You know there are many things that people can do in regards to changing their shape. What stands out in this particular aspect is this person was not aware of it.
Not aware
Not
of
aware
what?
of the form that they were in,
Okay.
type of thing. Like, Miss Chie knows when Miss Chie is matronly Chie.
Yes.
Miss Chie knows when Miss Chie is young Chie, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
It is kind of odd to sit there and take a look at someone who's just kind of like, oh, whoops, and then just changes it as if they're putting on a new hat.
Ah.
Type of thing.
To be fair, that doesn't say much. Odd.
Would you mind if we have a conversation? And she points to Miss Chie's office.
Knowing that Miss Chie is out, I counter with, there's a nice cafe nearby. Why don't we go there?
If you'd rather.
Coffee's on me.
Well, don't worry about that. I know Miss Chie, or she doesn't say Miss Chie. I know Chie wouldn't mind.
Ooh, I've
I'm
never
one that has
heard
to
anyone.
leave.
I've probably never heard anyone refer to Miss Chie as just Chie.
Correct, for various reasons.
Oh dear. I'm a little bit worried for this person and also for myself.
But if you insist, we may go to the cafe.
I do kind of like do a little nod, like inclining my head, as like thanks for not getting me in trouble. Do I in this moment still feel like this anxiety building?
It's a different type of anxiety.
Okay.
Would you like me to change the music?
Maybe.
Okay. Trying to remember what other waltz I had. I think it was this one. Okay. All right. So, as you pass this individual, and begin walking, do you say anything on your way to the cafe? I will note that specifically you walk past and they leave your sight for a moment. I will mention that.
Okay.
You do hear them walking next to you, though.
Okay. I think with the mounting like disappointment, like sense of disappointment for like having to deal with this and not being able to get to the library again, plus this figure just showing up, and kind of feeling like they've somehow, like, they were somehow responsible for me not being able to do this. Like, I don't say anything just yet until, like, I can get somewhere that I find, like, that I feel comfortable with. So that's why we're going to the coffee shop, to have, like, a familiar location that is not like I feel like I'm intruding into Miss Che's domain.
Do you take glances at this individual
No.
at all?
No.
Not at all. Okay.
Until we get to the cafe, and I turn with the question what they would like to drink.
As you turn towards them, they go, "Don't worry about it. What would you like to drink? I'll cover it." But what you see is a very professional-looking, androgynous individual. Hair up in a bun, type of thing. Pantsuit. Like.
What do I roll to resist intimidation?
Resolve integrity.
Resolve
composure integrity.
Composure in it. Let's go for resolve and integrity because I only have 3. Nope, nothing. Like that's like they're something.
They sure are. Do you give them your order?
No. Like I am lost for words at this moment. Like, I know they can shapeshift. That was figured out before. You know the TikTok thing? Like, if the men find out we can shapeshift, they're going to tell the church?
I've seen the meme.
Okay.
I've seen the text meme.
Okay. I'm...
Alright, no worries. I'll just ask them what you normally get as she begins to approach the counter. Do you keep her in your sights?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you find a place to sit? Or do you just kind of reach for a chair and sit in the chair?
I think I will reach to like pull back the chair, sit down, and just like laser focused on this person.
Okay. The next time that you blink, because eventually Virginia will blink, you see a man who's standing there having this conversation with someone who also seems a bit unsettled at the moment, but is just kind of compartmentalizing it because, you know, shapeshifters are normal in the world type of thing.
Yeah, but that normal...
Compartmentalizing.
Okay.
But
to be fair, when the person looks more masculine, I tend to... My anxiety doesn't spike as much.
But it's kind of like it goes through forms. It goes through blue collar worker in the middle of a shop. It goes through CEO businesswoman. It goes through old school farmer. It goes through blacksmith. It goes all of these different forms as you see every time that your eyes leave them for but a moment.
Okay.
Type of thing. And eventually they come down and they sit down and goes, "So, if you don't mind, I do have some things that I wanted to make mention, one of which I addressed earlier is part of the problem is you don't ask for help, Virginia. And the issue with that is I had known that there were people who would have been willing to help you had you but asked at the library. Somebody who could have looked for the notes or helped go on and organized things. And most of what happened at Ginkama was delegation, which could have been handled over the phone.
I'm not very good at letting things go.
And that's fair. It's not... I'm not admonishing. I'm not saying that you're a bad person for letting all of it.
I also
You did what
still,
you thought were right in the time.
I also still
Oh,
don't know.
I haven't introduced myself. I apologize.
Especially with you knowing my name, that's kind of creepy.
I am Inari.
Okay. Well,
I-
it is nice to meet you, Inari. What can I do for you? I'm assuming that you've heard my name through someone I've helped, or
Oh,
and Virginia is like moving into the okay. This is a future client of mine. I'm going to have to do something for them.
you don't... How much do you know about your family's history?
What?
How much do you know about your family's history?
Um, so I guess like the Vid family, you mean?
Yes.
I know that Grandpa moved here with his family from somewhere in the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's as far back as it goes?
Somewhere along the line, there were some traders in the family.
Where'd they trade with?
Japan. And I think she'll pull out the coin.
Oh, I'm glad you guys kept that.
What?
The coin. I'm glad that it stayed in your family.
I'm sorry, you know about this thing?
Yes. She begins to kind of explain in short who he is and where a lot of that stuff comes from.
Does she explain more about the coin than what Virginia knows about it?
You upgraded the coin, right?
I did, but
You did.
Virginia doesn't know.
So she will. She will explain more aspects to the coin, yes.
Oh, Huh. But wait, at this time, I think Virginia, trying to ask something, realizes that if this person knows about the coin, then they were there when the transaction happened.
She sat there and explained a lot of it, type of thing. Like as she's going through this, she kind of explains where the coin or like the transaction that happened, and then goes backwards from there, explaining who she is.
Oh.
Type of thing.
Yeah, that shuts her up.
And then he speaks and he goes, so, because your family has done me many favors, I bestowed upon them various gifts throughout the ages. Why do you think that it is that you can walk places and not be seen? If you don't want to be.
I had, I kind of picked that up from Miss Chie. She
taught it
wanted
to her.
That's I feel that
I-
that is a very obvious question. Now that
At
you,
this point, yes.
Hmm.
She kind of chuckles a little bit. He then says, or he then kind of goes into the next bit is, it was kind of unfair, but if I told you that you were going to in for a test today, you probably would have done things differently, and I needed to see how you would react under pressure. I told Miss Chie to take the day off. Or, sorry, she doesn't say Miss Chie. I say it because I'm used to saying it.
Mhm.
She doesn't say Miss Chie. I told Chie to take the day off.
See, at this moment, like,
I-
there's two thoughts in Virginia's head. Oh,
Mhm.
sneaky, cozy mode. Sorry.
Or-
Two thoughts. One,
Mhm.
using Miss Chie, like, for this kind of purpose. How does Miss Chie ever sign off on that? And then the follow-up thought is, holy crap, someone has that pull with Miss Chie? Even though
And it's-
she's explained that she's a god.
Not just a god, but the patron goddess of Kitsune.
Yes. And if I've read correctly, the most revered kami, as in has the most
In Japan, yes.
in Japan, yes, has the most shrines.
Mhm.
But still, like, she has that much pull with Miss Chie. That is a beyond what she's explained. Just flabbergasted and obviously flustered whenever there is an androgynous or feminine form sitting in front of her. Virginia goes and I don't really know how to answer that or
I
how
don't
to
expect you
feel
to.
about that.
I come, for lack of a better term, with an offer.
Okay, that is a term that Virginia is a little bit more comfortable with. Okay.
If you want to, you can take a step with me. Metaphorically speaking. And we can take this and you will gain new abilities. You will become more than you currently are. The two things that I ask in return is, one, you learn to ask for help. Because some of the things that are going to come your way are not going to be things that you can handle on your own. And two, is that when trouble calls, you answer. And I'm not saying like any trouble, like somebody skins their knee on the sidewalk. You'll know the trouble that I mean when it comes. There was a lovely young lady that was here, at least the other day, that may be fond of blue. I'm not particularly fond of her or her family going around, because of the ties that they have to some of our family.
The veiled lady?
Yes.
Wait, are you saying I should avoid her or not?
If she shows up again, just keep an eye out and be careful.
Okay.
But if that is something that you're willing to do, to ask for help as you need it, and to answer the call, so to speak, she holds out her hand.
luckily there's no like payment transaction discussed. So okay.
I just had the
Bit
thought.
of
She
a-
pulls out a white rod. No, I'm kidding.
Ah.
That's Omnos's thing.
Yep.
That's not an Ari thing.
With that, there is a pause of about 5 to 10 seconds. And then Virginia reaches for Inari's hand.
As you take
Basically-
Inari's hand. As you take Inari's hand, the similar physical sensation of Omnos, you can feel your blood pulsing through your ears.
Oh,
You feel a more aspect of awareness. You feel, you feel simultaneously more than you are, and it's yet somehow still easy to be hidden type of thing. You feel different callings. You can hear the murmurs of people that need just a hand type of thing. Like it's murmurs, and it's very faint. It's easy to compartmentalize and push away, but your awareness spreads. You're full of some kind of energy type of thing. You feel more, if that makes sense.
okay. How's that go along with her anxiety?
It's relaxing.
Oh. Okay.
It's kind of the, for lack of a better term,
Mhm.
it's like getting high on Divinity. That's exactly what it is.
Quite the rush that Virginia is very unaccustomed to. And as this happens, he just looks at Inari.
Take a moment and adjust. Oh.
Hmm?
Every good agent needs a tool, do they not?
Don't know what kind of agent you're referring to.
Someone who goes and does goodwill, or someone who tries to go and do their best, or various different things. And she pulls out.
I was thinking more MI5, but yes.
Rolls her eyes a little bit. She pulls out a small hand-held knife. She goes, "This belonged to one of my Scions, and so I feel it only fitting that another should hold it, as times may call for it."
Pick it up. It's like the lacquer. It doesn't. It almost doesn't seem like a tool. It seems more like a ornamental.
Why don't you step outside? And she walks you through how to use it.
And as she does, the very small wood carving knife extends, the blade growing to about 2 feet, the handle extending to about another 6, and I am holding a very illegal item in the middle of London, a naginata. Oh wow.
Yeah. And she kind of sits there and goes and takes a look at. Are you sure you want it to be 6 feet? I mean, Virginia's short.
That is true. Let me actually see how long it should be.
Okay.
Um,
Generally, before we get to that point, so we
Mhm.
can move on. But she sits there and she goes for it. Just take some time, get adjusted to it. practice with that, you're going to need to.
Mm.
But I have things that I need to go take care of. Should you need me,
Mhm.
Miss Chie knows how to get a hold of me.
I'll keep that in mind. And
Okay.
luckily, I managed to return the naginata to the original wood carving knife that was given to me. And I think the naginata in total should be about 7
So with the blade and
with the blade. Yeah.
haft.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we depart Virginia. I'm not going to change the music because combat's no longer happening with Lu, as Lu and Sun Wukong are having a walk.
Yep.
Alright. There's a lot of challenges that are going to come up in your personal life and professional things. And honestly, trying to handle things diplomatically at first was a great take, and I think that to answer your question, at least so far, not that I could really take it back if I wanted to, I think that I made a good choice.
Well, as long as you think that.
Now, I'm sure that if we want to, we can ask, we might ask your family, see how they think about it. They know you probably a little bit better than I do. I can admit that.
Well, my mother would just say that she's biased.
Wise woman. So, how you liking my old shoes?
Well, they fit pretty good. The running on walls is neat.
Been able to make them fly yet?
What?
Well, yeah, they're my boots. They're the cloud walking boots.
They're those boots?
Yeah, they're my boots.
Sick.
Did somebody end up losing how to... Okay, so here's the thing. If you want to sit there and be able to walk on the clouds with them, fly for lack of a better term, because that sounds just much less exciting, you have to call me the handsome monkey king. I am not joking.
How long ago did you set that password?
When I got him.
Okay.
There two-factor authentication there.
Well, yeah, I had to give him the password. Voice, a disembodied voice in the sky.
Just kind of laughs to themselves for a bit. Fine. I'm not going to pronounce this right. Mei Ho Wang.
And he just kind of gestures for you to walk. And as you begin to walk, you fly. You take steps on the air, for lack of a better term. Might take a little bit of practice in getting used to, but I'm sure you'll get the hang of it soon enough.
Yeah, they are really cool.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I figured...
I figured you'd like want them back or something.
Oh, no, I don't need them anymore.
Okay.
But... So... Here comes the but. You seen a girl walking around, probably got blue makeup around her eyes, likes the color blue type of thing.
Junior, yeah.
Yeah, her dad's bad news. Dad's the guy that I got those boots from, and he kind of waves his hand and a staff appears. He goes, and this, among other cool things, but Dad's not exactly... What's the word? Best of news.
Right.
And if he's making moves here,
Yeah,
We
there was
might-
something. There was something about maybe he was running a gang or something.
or at least allied with one.
Okay.
This conniving English word I think would be fuck. Likes to sit there and grab uh um but he likes to grab other types of things. I don't know how much you know. I know your aunt's from Japan.
Yeah.
I don't know how much she's told you about like Hujin and Raiji, but
Uh,
they're generally
something
speaking,
to do with wind and lightning.
yeah, they're storm calm. They're storm spirits, very powerful storm spirits who
Okay.
kind of embrace that aspect of them just a little bit too much, type of thing. The problem with them is, or what Ao Guang does in regards to that is he likes to swoop in and kind of micromanage and take over and get these things to do his bidding, type of thing. I don't know if he's gonna bring people here or what he's gonna do. General aspect about it is he's bad news, and a lot of us can't exactly interfere directly with him when he's here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if there was two gods fighting on the TV, that would be a problem.
Exactly. Not to mention, like, not just the problem for the city, but the problem for us too.
Right.
So here's the thing, because he can't exactly do the same thing that I can't do here. I'm gonna make you an offer.
Okay.
If you want to help, I'm not gonna make you help. You have to do this of your own volition. If you want to help, I can give you the power to do so. But there's no turning back. You can't decide that all of a sudden one day you're done. But you'll get more abilities and you'll slowly grow into your own. It's an aspect of, well, you get more power in exchange for helping out if things get rough.
Right.
That's the general aspect to it.
Right. Just one more question before
Absolutely, ask away.
points at Gan. Is this yours?
Not mine, but that's more of the other guys. They wanted to keep an eye on you because I gave you your abilities.
Right. I'm guessing you didn't ask for permission.
Not really, no. And you steal peaches twice, and they kind of start. Well, it was more than twice. You steal peaches a few times, and they kind of start not trusting you with your actions. He kind of rolls his eyes at that one.
That's been pretty good beaches.
They were great. I'll go get some more.
Yeah, be careful that time.
I'm the great sage equal to heaven. I've proved that time and time again. What are they gonna do? Trap me again?
Maybe ask next time.
That's no
It's
fun.
nice to ask sometimes.
Okay.
Lewis saying that with the kind of, I know you're not gonna smirk.
Mhm. Mm. But are you ready?
Sure.
All right. And he kind of makes some gestures, as again that physical aspect described for the other two begins to fill the pulse in the ears, the huge amount of energy getting high on divinity. In this particular case, though, it's well, I would say ungodly, but it is a very godly amount of energy. You want to swing around, you want to like go forward and like take things. You want to see maybe if you get some more money, maybe next time in regards to like trying to sneak it into the jar that your mom has, you might do it with her actually in the room next time. Who knows? Type of thing. As it
Oh
kind
no,
of just
the power of shenanigans.
power shenanigans begins. But he kind of sits there and goes, yeah. So, I'm gonna give you a quick crash course because I can't stay too long. Do you
Yeah,
have
that was a lot.
Snapchat? Yeah.
Do I-
Do you
yeah,
have
um,
Snapchat?
yeah.
Cool. And he kind of
Don't
pulls
use it much,
he
but-
pulls out a phone and then opens the QR code if you need to get a hold of me.
Okay.
But generally speaking, kind of as the others have, kind of gives you the basics of going over some of the abilities. And
You're
yeah,
saying I have the power to just ignore bureaucracy? Sick.
yeah. I mean, like next time that you guys need to go to like the DMV or something like that, it's gonna be great. Never have to wait in a line again.
Yeah. Friend doesn't have the DMV, but you know.
Is there an equivalent?
What is the DMV?
The DMV here is where you get. It is the Department of Motor Vehicles, where you get licensing and
Right.
registration for vehicles.
There is a similar thing, but it doesn't have the ludicrous queues,
Okay.
usually.
That's fair. I apologize. I'm a filthy American.
Yeah. But they would
Um,
understand the reference.
For reference, because someone's asking in one of the chats, Snapchat is indeed a thing, and Sun Wukong specifically goes on vacations and chills at a Starbucks while watching the stories of the monkeys on the island of Peaches and Flowers while they fight the celestial bureaucracy. Because if he gets involved, it's a big issue.
Because the bureaucracy keeps trying to colonialize them, and the
Mhm.
monkeys are like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah. That is canon.
Yeah.
But yeah, as we begin to sit there and calm down, everyone has their visitations, and I get to figure out what the first thing that you guys fight as heroes is.
Ooh.
Things that you guys get to do as heroes.
Yay.
But as you go forward and do your preparations, whatever your preparations may be, you may speak to me. Oh, one last thing that Inari gives Virginia before Inari leaves is the book with the information that Virginia needs to give to the Whitblades.
Oh,
On the condition that you start asking for help.
the moment that this is done,
Mhm.
Virginia sends a text to Lucian for martial arts lessons.
Excellent. But yeah, I have been your storyteller for the evening. Alvarance, this is some of my favorite stuff because it's very personal things and you get to interact with gods. It's great. I'm going to introduce so many more. It's fantastic. With me playing the heroic Lucian, I have had Keestrith. With me playing the now heroic, if maybe a little overwhelmed Virginia, I've had the Neverland.
Ah! Did that not pick up?
It did not pick up.
Oh, I said, ah!
And then playing Omnos, now with a motive, in addition to a purpose. Some might say heroic, some might say anti-heroic, I have had.
Well, I always knew I was divine.
That is
Oh,
true.
no.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye! And those were some really, really interesting visitations. Oh, that was interesting. That was really cool. Thank you all so much for hanging out and being here with me as we delve into our hero phase of our Scion stories. Is it a chronicle? Is it a campaign? Is it an epic? Who knows? But yes, Virginia now has the ichor of gods running through her veins, and she is no longer just a human. Oh no, what will happen? At least she'll be kicking some butt with her new Naginata. With that said, I actually should start up some. Start up some music. Shenanigans, that'll happen indeed. Indeed, indeed. They will. So, thank you all so much for hanging out for this lovely, lovely session. I'm just trying to figure out where to go now. Shall we go to... Shall we go to a VTuber sibling of mine? Playing Final Fantasy XIV. It is Litro the Bronze. And you can join us with the raid call message here or the raid sub message if you have a subscription to my channel. I would highly recommend that because look at those cute emotes. Aren't they lovely? Very cute. With that said, thank you all so much again for being here. I have been the Netherlad, I am the Netherlad, and I will be the Netherlad for some time. Next stream will be tomorrow as we recap 10 treasures and get some Aether Peak prep done. Yeah! So, starting the raid momentarily. Bye-bye!